Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Buster's Beat, the podcast where I'm going to try to not scream into the microphone this whole time. I am joined today by a very special guest, someone I've known for, oh my gosh, maybe the longest time that I've been in Salem. A multi-disciplined artist, a illustrator, a painter, a tattoo artist, and
certified cat person,
the one and only Cass.
Hello all.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm so good. I threw my pen though, but I got it. I do that a lot.
Okay,
this is not the first time I've thrown a pen on this podcast. Yeah, welcome to my podcast. For
it's great to be here.
Listeners out there, let us know how you like to identify in the world, as an artist, as your pronouns, as any kind of labels or signifiers you want to
first and foremost, I prefer to not be perceived most of the time, but when I am a non-binary pan artist, tattooer, cat rescuer. That basically sums it up these days.
Perfect. Excellent. Yeah, I also shockingly don't like to be perceived all that much, or when I do, I'm like, okay, I'm on camera or I'm on stage. If I'm not on camera or not on stage, I don't exist.
It's hard.
I totally get that. So I know you from the many, many wonderful tattoos you've given me.
Yes.
But I don't think I know your origin stories, your villain origin stories, like a tattoo artist.
Which
or
one? You know some of the villain tattooer origin stories.
I know some of those stories, but were you an artsy kid? Were you tattooing your toys? Were you
I would draw in my storybooks all the time. I would get into trouble for staying up reading past bedtime and then drawing all over the pictures. And then I grew up watching my parents get tattooed in the 90s, if you want to know how old I am. And it was just so fascinating to me. I remember once my mom got tattooed by a female tattooer, which was so rare back then. And I was like, wait, I could do this? Little, I don't know, 10-year-old me or whatever. I was like, wait, I could do this. But I didn't even start my apprenticeship until I was 30. Life just took me every which way and very not art direction some of the time.
So from a child who was coloring in their storybooks and getting in trouble to 30 years later, what was that gap of art or non-art? Or,
oh man, so I
mean, you don't have to tell all of it, but did you go to art school, or did you hate art for a while?
No, I've never hated art, which was good. I was a graphic design major for 2 semesters, and I loathed it. And I had some regular adult jobs that were a lot in retail. I worked at
regular adult jobs.
Yeah, they're not a good time.
No.
I worked at a group home with veterans that all had various mental illnesses. That was really fulfilling. Yeah, it was a lot. But basically I was too anxious to be a tattooer. I didn't know how to interact with the world, and I couldn't understand where my anxiety came from. I still sometimes don't know where my anxiety comes from. But yeah.
How do anxiety work?
No. And then one day I saw an ad on Craigslist, I think it was, for a shop in Salem that was looking to hire a shop manager. And I was like, maybe this will be a good way to figure out if tattooing is something that is still what I want to do.
And it was.
And it all went from there.
And it was. I also love that that you didn't even get into the tattooing industry until your 30s, because there's so many people out there, particularly queer people, who fixate so hard on if I'm not successful by the time I turn 20, it's all over for me.
No,
it's just
you can press reset on your life
fast,
so many
but
times.
Life is also long. Yeah, you can hit the reset button so many times.
Yeah, even in my tattoo career, I went from being an apprentice to working for other people to even owning my own shop, and now I'm back to not owning my own shop again. And it didn't feel like a step backward. It didn't feel like a failing. It's just life
trying out other things. Yeah, I always, when people are like, oh, you do a lot of different stuff, I'm like, I have a Gemini moon, I need the variety. I gotta have different things keeping me interested, because
Gemini moon does not shock me.
Yeah you
probably
I was gonna say you're
lot.
Also a big astrology nerdy too. We talk a lot about astrology on this podcast. So
Sagittarius moon, Aquarius sun.
Yeah. And what's your rising?
Also Sagittarius.
Oh, it's so interesting, because whenever I meet fire signs that I don't get the impression, where I'm just sort of what are you hiding from me? But I guess Sagittariuses are the quiet ones of the fire signs.
Well, the Aquarius makes me like weird out front to the world, and all the other stuff is just kind of.
I was gonna say I'm very drawn to air signs. Like all of my best friends are like Libras and Aquariuses and Geminis. Like I'm just surrounded by them because I'm like, as a Taurus, I need somebody like blowing a breeze my way to get me to do anything.
You might be one of my favorite Taurus people. I usually find them a little too stubborn for my liking.
Yeah,
sorry, all other Tauruses in the world.
We're annoying, but we all think we're great. Like they're gonna hear that and just be like, yeah, right. Tauruses are the best.
Stupid Aquarius.
Stupid fucking Aquarius. Of course you'd think that. Or it's like anytime I meet a Capricorn, or anytime I meet someone who's like, I'm not into astrology, and I go, you a Capricorn?
Yeah.
And most of the time they are. So, or someone I don't know anything about, and they're just like, you'll never guess my sign. I'm just like, are you Scorpio? And they're like, how dare you? I'm like, because I literally don't know anything about you, I guess. Sometimes stereotypes work, just in astrology, not for other things.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't even remember. See, that's why tangents are always good on this.
Do both of us have ADHD?
Yeah. And I didn't take Adderall. I didn't take Adderall today.
I took my meds today. No. I was like, there's no way I'm skipping it on this day of all days.
I was like, I'll take it later. I don't know why. I'll take it for the next
No, you can't say that as an ADHD person. I don't have like the worst sentence. I don't have a strict
timeline for mine. It's just sort of like when you think you're gonna need it. Okay. And I'm like, it's the Advair. I'm also on Advair. That one's on a timeline. That one's like, I'll die if I don't take that on time, which is also awkward because like I have to take it at like 9 a.m. and 9 p.m. And 9 p.m. I'm always at a gig.
Do you have phone alarm set for you?
Oh yeah. Circling back. So in your journey to getting to the tattoo shop first, you said you started with like managing?
Yeah, I was basically shop assistant. So doing all of the things that no one else wants to do.
It's like the sweeping and the
answering phones
and the answering the phone.
Sorry, that shouldn't be like a terrible thing. Talking to people.
For some of us,
it's hard to manage a schedule for a bunch of different artists.
I've been a receptionist before.
I can imagine that.
At a spa.
Yep, that's the part that gets me, the spa. I'm like you're so polite though, but spa.
Yeah, it was a spa like in a basement. It was a weird time.
That is a weird.
I'm not good at a desk. I'm good at a table with lots of toys. I finally remembered to bring toys today, as promised in past episodes.
I was not told to bring toys, and I'm very upset about this.
That's one step at a time. First, I had the idea of toys, and then I needed to wait 2 episodes to remember to bring them. So now, 2 episodes from now, I'll remember to tell other people.
I like that you remembered toys, but not Adderall. There's something very sweet about that.
Thank you. It's the Gemini moon. It's the sparkle. When people are like, I don't want to take my meds and lose my sparkle.
It could give you more sparkle.
No, I love it. No, my meds are great. I just, yeah. So going from shop management to apprentice?
Yeah, my apprenticeship was interesting.
Was that at the same shop? And did you have to be like, so
I had to do both. There wasn't a lot of apprenticing in the midst of shop managing. All of the tattooing, I was allowed to observe sometimes. So I did learn from coworkers quite a bit. But if I wanted to tattoo, it had to be after hours. And it was very rare that someone would want to stay with me after hours and watch me. So there was a lot of solo time practicing on fake skin, which is not like real skin.
I was gonna say, so fake skin, is that like
it's just like a rubber?
Okay, I was gonna say it is just like literally rubber. It isn't like a special.
Yeah, they're fancy now. They're like softer, and you can get them hand shaped or like face shaped and cat face shaped. It's weird. There's all sorts of body parts.
Do you also sometimes I see on the internet like when people like tattoo like oranges?
Yeah,
is that like a similar texture? You didn't do any of that?
No,
or like I've seen people do it to like, they buy like a pig leg at the store.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think I could do that.
I think I need to get.
But
if
you look at an orange, like most of us has touched an orange, right? Like if you touch an orange and then touch your skin, like those two things aren't similar. Like,
have you ever had cellulitis?
Oh. Yeah. But it does help you learn how to use your machine if you're tattooing on anything. So, like you learn what your machine is like.
And then from there, do you like tattoo yourself?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So any good apprenticeship will have you tattoo yourself before you tattoo another person. Because
what
you
was
need
the
to know.
first tattoo you gave yourself?
It's really classy, actually. It's just a little seashell with 2 forget-me-nots. 3 forget-me-nots? Yep. On my thigh.
I was going to say,
I
feel like it's got to be
Yeah.
They're like, start with your face.
Yeah. No. God, that would be terrible. Blowouts everywhere.
What? That makes a little seashell. And do you still have it? Have you like worked around it?
I still have it. I haven't done anything to it. It's just, I don't know, my crappy little imperfect tattoo that I'll treasure forever.
No, that's perfect. I love that. Like all the weird like little things that I got when I was like 18 and people are like, you were going to tattoo over that? I'm like, if I like really run out of room and feel like passionately about covering it, but I'm like, I like the weird little crappy tattoos I got along the way. I was like, I had $50 and like a Thursday off and I thought it was really cool and like still do.
Now, did I tattoo you while I was an apprentice or after?
Did. No, I still have it.
I don't remember what it was.
It was so like terrible. A Friday the 13th flash day.
Oh, yeah.
And it's a cat head with just 13 in it.
Yes, I remember now.
And it's like on the top of my leg.
That is.
Sorry, well, the listeners at home.
I've done a lot of tattoos on your legs, so
you have.
I do
That's where most
them.
of mine are, yeah. All of my ones from you actually are on my legs. I would say like 90% of the tattoos I have are still just on my legs. I'm still going for the pants. Yeah, gotta go for the pants. This is fake. This is from makeup.
I was wondering. I'm like, that doesn't seem like your style. It's very like lovely and fine line, and just seems
very
very
delicate, like me. No, I use a lot of like fake tattoos on like my face and neck and stuff when I do drag. So sometimes the packs come with these really big ones. So I'll slap them on my arms, but then they last for like days.
I think I saw you with a neck tattoo at one of your shows, and I was like, did LJ just get a neck tattoo?
Oh my God.
I need to see this in real life. But clearly it's not there now.
It happens to me at every show. People who see me like 100 times in a month at a show will still be like, is this new? And I'm like, it is new. It's brand new. I got it today in the mail.
It didn't feel like anything.
It didn't hurt at all. Got it in the Amazon. Shout out to not spending money online. But sometimes
it's hard.
Sometimes you need cheap things because you're poor. And unfortunately, we're stuck in a bad system that way.
Yeah, we're all kind of struggling a little bit. It's not the best time for anyone.
Yeah, I mean, I always completely different line of things, but like there's so many different companies that need to be like boycotted right now, which is like a big thing, but like also,
which is great, but then I'm not going to shop anywhere.
Yeah,
like I can shop all the small businesses. Salem is so wonderful, and the amount of small businesses that exist, but if I just want like, I don't know,
toilet paper.
Yeah. Crosby's, Steve's Market, I suppose.
Yeah. Well, and there's also
I just can't get everything at a downtown small business.
When you can, but I'm like, don't shame people who like literally have to go to these places that it's like, well, this is morally bankrupt. Like, okay, well, somebody who's still poor still needs like hand soap and toilet paper. You know,
I always
like,
say
if you
there's
can afford
no
to get the
ethical
fancy stuff.
capitalism. And that's what it comes down to. We
That's
can
true.
do our best, but
we can all do our best.
All going to be imperfect at the end of the day.
Yeah. I was going to say, let's not shame people for trying.
Right.
You know,
we're just trying to exist, y'all.
I shame myself enough.
Right.
I'm like, I got to buy more temporary tattoos. Yep. Sorry, Daddy Bezos. You're getting that $8.
Business expense, though.
Huh?
Business expense for you.
So I actually did that. I just filed my taxes and I actually got a refund from both state and federal. And I think I've blown the minds of all of my friends who do drag full time because I don't know anybody else who got a refund because I've been filing my own taxes for 20 years. So I know how to do it. I know how to fucking do it. Do you remember when you couldn't do them online?
You had to call them in.
You had to call them in.
We're showing our age again.
Yeah, I was telling someone about that. I was like, listen, you kids don't know. There wasn't always, free tax USA or whatever. Like, you either had to mail it in and like wait months for it to like get there and get back and get like a check, or you could call it in and like punch in the numbers. I did that exactly once because I just wanted to see. It took like an hour to punch in all those numbers. Did you ever end up doing that?
I
or
did.
you
I think just
it?
Once, and then I begged my friend's mom to do it.
Yeah.
From there on out.
Yeah.
And she did.
Yeah.
Thank you, Bonnie. I love you.
Yeah. When internet tax stuff came around, I was like, I don't ever want to be any sort of tax person, but like I might have missed my calling on that one. I could be like a
I'm
rich
like, maybe
business
you should
guy.
do my taxes.
I don't know. I know how to do my taxes. I feel confident about that. I know what's going on. But like I got an app that like tracked all my expenses. So they were like, well, how much money did you spend on this? And I was like,
I can tell you right now.
Ton. Which is good because like I've had years in the past where like I've lived in multiple states and I was doing regular jobs plus gig jobs plus independent contracting things. And it's been an absolutely nightmare. There's been 1 year in my life where I paid someone else to do it. And I was still pissed at them because I was like, I don't think you really earned my money from me. I was like, I think I could have gotten a bigger refund.
They're not going to know your life as well as you do.
They don't know me. Plus, like, I always tell a lot of my friends, because a lot of us are in the same tax bracket, where I'm like, we're poor. They're not really looking too hard. If we're just like, this is how much I drove my car, they're like, okay. They're usually not going to come look at your car to be like, you're fucking lying to us.
Right.
I'm like, dude, I make less than $30,000 a year. I swear I'm not lying to you about anything. Like, this is how much rent costs. And they're like, wow, that's like 90% of your income. I'm like, I know. I know that.
I can never leave my apartment.
That's people like, you want to go out? I'm like, I pay so much money to live in my apartment. Why would I go out?
Yeah, I love my apartment.
Do you live alone too?
Yes, thank God.
Living alone is the best. And I know it's a luxury and it shouldn't be. But I love living alone.
I am grateful every day.
Yeah.
Yep. Not that I have like an official gratitude list, but in my brain,
you wake up and
there is
go
a
down.
list, and living alone is on it.
Living alone is a great one, but living alone with how many cats?
We don't
currently. No, we have to talk about that because in addition to all of these fine artist things, you are a lover.
Know of a lot of my cats, and two of them died last year.
Pineapple and Bear.
Pineapple and Bear, the oldest ladies of the house.
Yeah.
And then I had a permanent foster who died within the last couple of months.
Was that Jeffrey?
Chili. No, okay. Jeffrey's good.
Jeffrey
needs to live forever. Jeffrey
my soulmate
will
and
live
love
forever.
of my life.
Okay. Miss Jeffrey Midnight is a girl. For those that you don't know, cats don't care about gender, by the way. And fosters, I have a mama and 2 3-week-old babies, 2 spirit cats, and 1 little kitten that was recently diagnosed with feline leukemia. So things are adorable, but incredibly difficult.
So Jeffrey,
oh God,
and then
we're counting.
I know
Jeffrey,
I'm counting
Arlo,
living cats. So
Angel
Jeffrey
is my new guy.
And then the 2 little babies?
2 little babies makes 5. Mama's 6. 2 spirit cats. Oh God, there's 9.
Yeah.
Oh God, please don't judge me. There's 9. That's so many cats.
I'm judging you. No, I'm not judging you.
No, not you. The world. I know you won't.
I don't think anyone who's listening to this podcast is going to judge an amount of cats. Yeah. You know what I mean?
My apartment set up, so I am also blessed to live in a 2-bedroom apartment.
Yeah, I was going to say that's enough room for that many cats.
Yeah, I've been there for a decade, so rent is cheap, fortunately. But the 2nd bedroom setup is a foster room with like professional quarantine cages and everything.
Ooh.
Like, it's a proper cat foster house.
Excellent. We both have a love of creatures great and small. So
I miss your dog.
Yeah, me too.
I know.
Yeah, he's dead.
Yeah,
not the Buster Pants dog. Have you ever heard this is?
No.
Dead dog Buster Pants?
No.
So I do a spiel at every show when I tell people how to find me online. And I say, you can find me online at Pants Buster, because if you look for me at Buster Pants, that is somebody's dog. And that dog has not posted since 2012.
Oh, no.
So I think
that's
that dog is dead. Ago. So I made merch about it. That just says, I think that dog is dead.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah. But I follow him, and people are always like, you should like message Instagram and get the page, like if they're not using it. And I'm like, No,
let's not bother someone over their dead dog.
And
My God.
Then not have the story. What am I going to do with all the stickers if there isn't a dead dog Instagram out there? But then people think like, oh, is that your dead dog? I'm like, no, I have another dead dog. This dog is not my dead dog. That's somebody else's dead dog. My dead dog is Otis. And he has an Instagram that I don't post to. So if somebody messages me for the account, I'm going to tell them to fuck right off.
Right.
And then tell them to go follow Buster Pants. You should take it down. That dog is precious, first of all. And yeah, for sure dead. Because if he's not dead... I'm so sorry. Buster. Am I yelling?
Just give it a little bit more space, because I think you're just bouncing around a lot.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, it's fine.
We're real excited.
And I'm sorry about the dead animals.
No, it's cool.
Interrupting the dead animals. All right, I need to stay more still.
Yeah. I feel like I should clarify. I have 9 cats in my house. I did say that several are fosters because I
they're
rescue
not staying.
and I partner with other rescues. So, yeah, they're not staying.
No, and I love rescuing. I think most of the pets I've had have all been rescues because my original cat, do you remember my original cat, Fatty McButterpants?
Oh, I remember by name.
Yeah, he was a good cat.
Oh, no,
but
also
he was
dead?
Yeah, he would be like 50 now. No, not 50, but he'd be very old. He'd be like a 30-year-old cat. I think that's too old for a cat. That's getting to be too old. Well, like I adopted him at 9 and he was already pretty decrepit for a 9-year-old. And then he lived to be almost 20. So he had a good run. He had a good run. He died very peacefully in his sleep, but he was a rescue from, I think, the MSPCA in Boston, or whatever the rescue is down there. And then Otis, I got through like Lucky Pup Rescue, which is like a foster care.
I've never even heard of that one.
Yeah, they're like a really cool foster care network where like there is no building. It's just like a big list of people, and like they're good enough that like they'll send someone to your house to be like, okay, you do have a house that's like big enough for a dog, but not too clean for a dog, you know?
Yeah.
As opposed to someone being like, oh, you have $200, take this. Which I really appreciate. And yeah, all the good ones will like double check.
Yeah, that's wonderful. Even with mine, I always partner with other rescues for adoption. So I'm personally Salem Mass Cat Aid. And this started as just feeding local strays and like picking up the injured ones and getting them medical care and stuff. And it just sort of expanded.
There's a lot of stray cats in Salem.
Oh, there's less now, and it's sad. All the reasons are sad. So we don't talk about it. But it expanded into this much bigger rescue situation where like people call me now if they find a cat, and I'll go like transport it or scan it for a chip or do all of the things. And I have a cat food pantry. I have a location at my house, and Black Cat Curiosity Shop has their cat food pantry location too, so we partner and do that. So it's like grown into all these things that I'm really proud of. It's so opposite from tattooing, but such like a large chunk of my life. And yeah,
gotta do what you love. I love birds though. Like
me too.
Yeah, I keep making all of my friends who are like about to turn 30, I'm just like, just you wait. Once you turn 30, you're gonna be so into birds.
Yeah.
They're just like, what do you mean? I'm like, it's what happens. You're going to be into birds. Just you wait.
Isn't there a bird sanctuary in, I think, maybe Ipswich where you can go and feed them?
It's the Ipswich Wildlife Sanctuary, but I think it's technically like in Topsfield where you enter it, and you can feed them. And it is delightful. It's run by like the Mass Audubon Society. So if you have one of those, which I do, I have a pass so I can always park there. But yeah, I keep birdseed in the trunk of my car at all times in case there's some sort of bird that needs to be fed situation. But yeah, they're so chill there because it is a sanctuary and they know that people will come and feed them. So if you just stand there and hold out bird seed,
that's what I want to do.
Yeah,
that's how I'm gonna spend my summer.
Yeah, highly recommend it. They run a lot of specials actually for like new members where it's like it's a $70 membership, but you can do it for $30 if you're new.
Oh yes, I am new.
You are new.
Thank you, Mass Audubon.
Hey, shout out to Mass Audubon. They don't sponsor this show, but they sponsor birds.
But they do such good
birds.
work.
Yeah, they really do. And there's a lot of. I used to like. I've only been to that one for a really long time, and then once you join, they're like, here's a map of literally the like dozens and dozens of places you can just like go.
My nerd heart is exploding right now.
Yeah, and they like tell you like which birds you can go find. It's like this one's woodsy, this one's beachy, this one, yeah. So
don't mind if I do.
Absolutely. It's like the best way you can spend anyway, or between like $30 to $70 depending on like what kind, because you can get a fancy membership and they'll like send you a tote bag.
Have you gone whale watching yet?
I have not.
I've got to make you go.
Okay.
It's a good time. I have 2 tickets that have just been like hanging out waiting for spring.
I'll go watch some whales.
Yeah.
I love whales. I might cry.
Oh, I cry every time.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was watching like a nature documentary and it's like a family of whales swimming together. And I was like, if I saw that in real life, I don't know.
The first time I saw one breach out of the water, just like sobbing tears.
Yeah. I think a lot of people I mean, now if they listen to the podcast, probably not. But like, I cry a lot more than people realize upon meeting me because they're like, oh, you're just kind of this like tough, weird guy. And I'm just like, I cry a lot at birds. I cry a lot at sea creatures. Tiny little, the bobtail squid. I know I've probably sent you lots of videos of bobtail squids over the years. Creatures great and small. We love them. And I mean, I think that comes across a lot in your art.
Yes, one of my favorite things to tattoo and get tattooed on me. Just like cover me in animals. Let me cover you in animals.
Yeah, I'm trying. I'm saving up. The economy's real bad right now. Can I pay you in eggs?
Yes, actually. Yes.
I don't have any. I'm sorry. That was a lie.
Jesus.
I know.
That was a tease.
It was
that was
a tease.
terrible
I should get
tease.
a chicken for my studio apartment.
I think you can do that in Lynn. I don't think my landlord would be at all cool about that.
My landlord's pretty cool. I don't think he watches this. Dennis.
Yours is named Dennis too?
Yeah.
It's not the same. I only have the one property.
Oh, okay. I like my landlord. As far as landlords go, he's chill. Because
mine lets me foster.
I've gone into like an apartment and I meet the landlord and they take one look at me and they're like, I'm good. I'm like, oh, but my credit, you have no idea how good my credit is. And I walked in and this man was completely unfazed by my appearance. And I was just like, listen, what do I have to do to get to this apartment? I need it. I want it. I must live right here. And he was like, honestly, the only thing I care about is credit. And I said, mine's well above 700. And he was like, oh, okay. Like I'm looking for like 500. I was like, pulled up
Mr.
like my
Low
standards.
Standards.
Because he's just like, ugh, like it's got to be above 500. I'm like, well, Dennis. Yeah, so unfazed. Because there's a lot of like gross, conservative, old white guys who will take one look at me and be like, you can't possibly have good credit. Yeah, I do.
Yeah, whenever anyone hears, oh, you're a tattoo artist.
Yeah.
Your personal life must be wild. I'm like, dude, I come home to my cats and like nerd out and go to bed.
I was gonna say it's really hard when you're like in arts and like entertainment where they're just like, oh, and what do you do? Can you show me like your pay stubs? And I'm like, I have
it's
this
not gonna make any sense to you.
I have
but
a little
sure.
notebook that I can show you where I write down how much cash I make at each show. He never asked. He's just like, I just need to know your credit. I was like,
good.
Love that. Good for me.
Sure.
Have good credit, kids. Just do your best. That's it's turning into a financial advice podcast. How to file your taxes. How to
charm your landlord.
How to charm your landlord. Dennis. Your landlord is also Dennis.
Yeah, mine's gonna see this and be like, you have how many cats there right now?
Is he a fan?
He lets me foster, but I don't think he realizes I'm fostering this many at the moment. Please do not tell on me.
Listen out there. No one call other Dennis.
Yeah, one of them's leaving on Friday. So like the numbers are dwindling.
It'll be fine. I don't think either Dennis is gonna watch or listen to this.
No.
Or like, what a get, you know? That means it's really reaching. I realized one of the last times I posted a clip of my podcast on my page, for the first time ever, I got like hate comments, which I'm just like, looks like we made it. There's random like white guys, straight white men who have never listened to my podcast commenting on it. Like incredible. And one of them called me toxic.
Aww.
And I was like, this has to be a bot because they
use better words.
Well, if you go to my Instagram page, it says like the North Shore's most toxic king, because that's like my cheeky persona on stage. So I'm just like, this has to be a bot that's like trying to get my goat
or it's
here.
a person that just doesn't read.
That's true. And then what did somebody else say? Oh, like the videos about being like, oh, well, like if you're going to be an ally, show your work kind of thing. And somebody wrote like, some of us have real jobs.
Yep, like I'm existing in the world.
Some of us can't be allies. We have real jobs. Okay, man.
Oh my god.
But I was like, like I've made it. Like the random people have come out of the woodwork. That's never happened to me before. So.
I've only ever gotten a couple of hate emails, and it's almost exciting when it happens. It's like, ooh, you're calling me a slur?
What do you get hate emails about?
I don't know. People see my Instagram or like a random post somewhere. I'm on Reddit, but I'm not telling you my username.
I will.
And they'll just be like so wildly offended because I do sprinkle political posts in throughout my art stuff because it's a thing that I'm passionate about, like, I don't want to tattoo any fascists, and I want people to know that they're coming to a shop that is also very anti-fascism. Like, that's really important to us.
Yeah.
And it's deeply offensive to some other people.
Oh, I see. My thing is, like, imagine just having such a lack of a life or personality where, like, I saw something on Reddit and now I'm going to send you a message about how I don't like the fact that you don't like fascists. Right. What's the weirdest tattoo you have done?
Oh, man. I love this because it was within the last few months. Ooh. And I hope he watches this. I'm going to tell him just so I can, like...
We'll make it one of the clips.
A portrait of his mom as a hot dog. Yep, it's exactly what you're imagining. Just a hot dog with his mom's face and mom written in mustard. Yep.
Did you get any backstory on it? Or
his mom loves hot dogs.
Okay, I was gonna
say,
did
it's really
he love
that
the hot
simple.
Dogs,
No, mom does.
Is the mom alive?
Yep, alive,
All
and
right.
thinks the tattoo is hilarious.
Okay.
So
I like that. I love their relationship.
Yeah, and so I don't refer when I'm talking about my clients. I don't refer to them by name because I mean privacy,
Right.
and also no one remembers names. But I refer to them by their tattoo. So I'll be like, "Oh, Jellyfish Girl is coming in today," but Hot Dog Mom is
Dog
forever
Mom.
known as Hot Dog Mom.
Oh my God, that's incredible.
He's so lucky to have such a good nickname.
Never forget Hot Dog Mom.
Right?
Oh my God, I need to see. Is it like on your Instagram?
I don't think it is.
Do you have photos of it?
Yeah, I'll show you. I'll show you after. Yeah,
We'll do it after.
yeah.
Not for
So the
you
photos
guys.
are garbage, but I feel like you should see this.
I need to. That's the image I need to haunt my brain.
Oh,
you
yeah,
know?
it's
Let's
good.
Let's knock out some of the other things.
The
that I've
mustard
had
is
to see.
sparkly.
It sounds incredible. I need weirder tattoos, I think. I have a lot of like very nice, beautiful ones, but it's time to get weird with it.
The next time you're with, a tattooer friend or just with your friends and you're talking about tattoos and you're like, oh, it would be hilarious. Just don't second guess it. Just run with it.
Just write it down and
Yep.
not forget the idea.
Yep. I have a weird
true.
piece of like creepy Halloween candy on my leg that I tattooed on my friend B and I after a Halloween flash day because we were like giggling the whole day. Oh, this is such a creepiest little pumpkin head candy. And they were like, but what if we do it?
But what if?
What if we actually tattoo it?
I was
I'm
going to
like,
say, my next question is,
great
what's
idea.
your weirdest tattoo?
Yep, weird pumpkin candy
That's
with
the
like
weirdest one?
little creepy teeth. Oh, so good.
I'm trying to think of what my weirdest one is. I have like a really creepy like Mickey Mouse flipping off, like throwing up a hand that's like flipping off
I love it.
someone on my butt.
Good.
Yeah.
That seems fitting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That might be the weirdest one I have. I also got, how like some shops do like a vending machine
Oh,
kind
yeah.
of thing. I got one of those and I went to this shop and they had like 3 different ones, and one of them like for each of the artists, and one of them was like lots of like flowers and little like cute things. One of them was like these really small like mandala sort of things, and one of them just had like a globe with like a dick coming off of it, and I was like, I want to put my money in that
I
machine.
guess which one you chose.
And that artist was like, listen, I just like, that one's mine. There's some really fucked up stuff in there. And I was like, sold. And he's like,
Oh,
but
I'm so
really,
interested.
it could be bad. And it was honestly cute, the thing that I got. But it was just, it says pervert. And the T is an upside down cross. And then it has
that's
like
lovely.
a heart with like a sad face underneath it. And
love
like, that's
that
what
so
popped out. And I was
much.
like, fate,
Did he say how weird that was on the scale of weird things that are in that machine?
Probably least weird.
Yeah.
Probably least weird.
I don't know if that means you lucked out or not.
Well, that sounds like now I want another one. Like he tricked me.
Yeah. Keep
No, I
going
ended
until
up
it gets
getting,
really
he's
weird.
the same one who ended up doing like the Mickey Mouse one too. So yeah, I've gotten some weird ones, but those are probably my 2 weirdest. But I have lots of very lovely ones from you.
Thank you. I feel like you've gotten them from me through the years, so you've
I have like a timeline of your work. Yeah.
me evolving as an artist on your body.
Yeah. Well, I think the weirdest one you gave me is I have the double-headed deer.
Oh,
that
yeah,
was
I
like
love that
inspired by
one.
Welcome to Night Vale,
Mhm.
another podcast. I love podcasts. Do you like podcasts?
I don't listen to as many as I want to
Yeah.
because ADHD. I have a hard time sitting and focusing on one thing. And if I have it on the background because I'm doing something else, I'll be half listening and it seems wasteful. So like I don't want to start a podcast unless I know I can sit and listen, yet I never have the attention span to just sit and listen to something.
I got really into podcasts like when I was driving around a lot. Like I moved to Connecticut for a little while, so I was always in my car for like 45 minutes to an hour at a time. And then especially during the pandemic, because I was doing like Instacart, because all the other, there were no gigs for that first year. So I was just constantly in my car. So I think that's like really set me down a path of like my obsession with podcasts that I have.
No,
today.
I love it. I love that you've done this. That's so huge. You've grown so much as a person and an artist since I last saw you or like really hung out with you.
Well, it's this all. I mean, I've probably told this story before on this podcast, but like Randall, my producer, is the one who just like came to me to be like, you make podcast, I will make it nice. And I said, what? She didn't say it like that. She approached me to be like, oh, I want to, like, I've been thinking about doing a podcast and blah blah blah. So I thought she was inviting me to be on her new podcast. And then when I like followed up weeks later, I was like, oh, you want me to have a podcast and you're gonna produce it for me? And she's like, yeah, it can be literally whatever you want. So
that's so exciting.
Here we are.
And such a relief to do it as a team too, to not have every single piece and responsibility.
I say it all the time where I'm just like, I would not have Buster's Beat if not for Randall, because I don't, this is none of my, I mean, these are my things, not the plants, but all the toys I finally remembered to bring. Yeah, I don't know how to like edit. I don't have the attention span for it. I barely can make music play on my laptop. Though I have been teaching myself how to DJ recently.
Ooh.
Yeah, I'm going to be one of those.
Another addition to the
well, like the amount of shows that I do where it's like, okay, the last hour, we're just going to like play music and dance. You can throw a Spotify playlist on and it's fun and like search for things. But I'm like, I've found myself, I have Spotify open and then like a YouTube page open and then like a house beat on like iTunes.
Why not do something with that?
And I'm trying to like manually crossfade with like the volume things. And I'm just like, all right, well, what if I just bought the equipment to do that for me? So I've been trying to teach myself that lately. So we'll see how it goes.
I have a question for you.
You have a question for me?
Yeah.
No.
It's a little one. It's a softball question. What is your favorite toy on this table? You brought such an array of things.
Okay.
And I just need to know, like, which speaks to your heart the most?
Speedy. No, Speedy the Beanie Baby. This is not the original Speedy from my childhood. I don't know what happened to that Speedy, but I found this at Savers. So I had to take him home.
He's a real cutie.
Yeah. Let's see. There's I've got my clown nose that I like to wear instead of flipping people off in traffic.
Oh.
So if you're ever like pissed off in traffic and instead of being like, oh, like fuck you, if you just like pop this on and like make eye contact with someone and just
you're
like
a fucking clown. This is how I tell you.
Slowly shaking your head at someone with a clown nose on. I'm probably gonna get murdered that way someday, but what a way to go.
Right? That's a good story.
Die with a clown nose on my face. Do you have any that are speaking to you?
Yeah, the garlic.
It's
so fancy.
It like is a patch that I bought at a show. Crow's Fell Prince.
Oh,
shout out to you.
Your garlic is beautiful.
Yeah, I like bought this patch at a show and I was gonna sew it onto something, but I found this frame that I had in my house.
No, it's so
like,
good.
It's perfect. Yeah, we needed some stuff. Like this is the third episode I've had and in this new setup, and we were at like a much smaller desk before. So now that we have a big table, I've been like, I need to bring toys.
I hope you switch it up.
Oh yeah, I have different toys for the next guest. Yes. I've got this paracord.
Yeah, a good fidget situation.
Feel free. I got this. Let's see. Somebody tipped me with this Lego dog at a show.
I love non-monetary tips though.
It's
most
true.
of the time.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes I need to pay my rent, but every so often, a nice little weird object is pretty fun.
Give me a weird object. Show up with a baked good, like.
See, I can't with the baked goods.
Oh, gluten-free.
Gluten, and now I can't eat dairy either.
Woof.
Yeah. Somebody once came to a show. I do a lot of shows with Ms. Diamond, and she has a nut allergy and some other allergies. And somebody once tipped us in like a beautiful like holiday box of those like the Ferrero Rochers, the like hazelnut ones, and we just like. Like somebody's trying to kill us. Like it has gluten and dairy and nuts. I was like, they're trying to take a double hit out.
I mean, nice
it was,
thought though.
Yeah, they were wrapped up, so we were fine. But it was kind of like a funny, like, okay, well, literally neither of us can have this, so we just turned and gave it to someone else. But the thought was nice.
Yeah.
But if you're coming to shows, don't bring us food. Also, like,
You can bring me food.
yeah,
I don't have allergies. Bring me all the food.
I also just have very little trust for people. Like, I feel like if you're tattooing someone, you get to know them a little bit better when they're tipping you, as opposed to like someone
a stranger
who comes up to
out
me
of
at
the
a
darkness
bar
of
to be
the
like,
audience.
I made you a cake. I'm like, I'm gonna get murdered if I eat this cake.
That's a murder cake for sure.
So no murder cakes, please. What's the best non-money tip you've ever gotten?
Oh, that's easy too. Someone made me a cheesecake for my birthday.
Oh my god!
Because I try to just tattoo people that I like on my birthday or cool tattoos on my birthday, and this wonderful person made me a cheesecake because I had mentioned cheesecake being my favorite in a previous session.
What kind of cheesecake?
Just plain
Classic?
ass cheesecake.
Is that your favorite? Is just a classic?
Yeah. Yep.
Nice.
It's simple.
Yeah, I haven't had cheesecake in a while.
Womp womp.
That's okay.
I'm sorry.
No, that's all right. Well, the thing is with having so many allergies, like when I do find something I can eat, it's so much more exciting. Like when I find like a gluten-free, dairy-free bakery and I'm just like, oh, I can eat everything here. And then I do, and that's exciting.
I'm surprised Salem doesn't have one of those.
It did, and it didn't stay
Jody
in business.
B?
Yeah. They were in the mall, and I think they changed over ownership a few times. Or like maybe the employees like bought it something, and then it moved over to where like Cilantro used to be, like over by like All Souls. And now it's some sort of donut shop where I don't think they have anything gluten-free or dairy-free. So that was a real bummer going there.
The mall location is a vegan place now. So.
I saw that. It was like once Jody B's closed, it reopened as like a different coffee shop. And I went there the other day to be like, oh, I'm going to go get a coffee before I like go over to Nagley. And it was closed. And then like the next time I went, it was a completely different shop. And I was like, they are quick. They are
that
quick
mall,
in
man,
Salem.
Has all sorts of good and bad magic wrapped up in that place.
Oh man, did you watch the saga of the door? Like last, I think it was October, like one of the doors on the parking lot side was broken. So they like put up a board and then people started graffitiing on the board. And then like the board got like painted over and people started graffitiing it again. It's just like a saga for a really long time to be like, fix the fucking door or we're going to keep graffitiing it. It's fine now. It's not exciting. I love graffiti. It's such like a unique form of communication for humans, like going into a bathroom stall and seeing like a dialogue literally laid out on the walls. So I don't leave home without a Sharpie. You never know where you're going to have to contribute.
Oh, man, that's so smart.
You don't have a Sharpie?
No, I don't think I have any writing utensils.
There you go.
Nice.
I have so many at home. You just graffiti the table. Oh my God. All right, let's see what else I got on my list. Oh, queer origin story.
Oh God.
You don't have to.
No, I just don't know.
Okay,
like,
well,
it's always been there, but
right. So tell us about it.
I remember when
that's the other half of this podcast.
When I identified as a girl and I kissed another girl and told my mom, she looked at me like I was the weirdest person that had ever existed and was just like, okay, and didn't really want to have a conversation about it. But at that moment I knew, I was like, man, men, it's not just men.
It's not just men.
Yeah, and I find that I'm just attracted to people regardless of gender, but I'm also gray ace, so I'm like not sexually attracted to people unless I'm mentally attracted to the person, and that makes dating really cool and fun in this day and age.
Is that sarcasm?
Yeah, 100%. And then non-binary was just, I don't know, I have a hard enough time identifying as a human, let alone like a more specific subset of human.
Yeah.
But then I felt like fake non-binary for a long time because I'm generally very femme presenting, but I tattoo a lot of queer and non-binary clients who kind of like talked me through it, and they're like, no, if that's how you feel, then that is what you are. And I'm like, I love you guys, thanks. So I think I came out to my non-binary clients before I came out to anyone else.
Yeah.
And even now it's still like a slow, quieter coming out, even though it's been a few years now. Like you'll see my pronouns on my Instagram and in my email signatures, but I don't like generally wear a pin or like introduce myself with my pronouns.
Yeah. I also don't do that, and I forget that that's sometimes like the polite thing to do, but I feel like as a society it's now like gone all the way full circle where it's like, if you feel that's important in your introduction, that's fine, but like the amount of times where someone will be like, oh, I didn't ask anyone their pronouns till you walked in the room, and now like, hey everyone, can we do a pronoun check?
Yeah.
And I'm just like, this isn't as allyship as you think it is. Or it's just sort of like, oh, hey, Buster, nice to meet you. What are your pronouns?
Yeah.
And I'm just like, oh, I didn't see you ask literally anybody else in here.
Yeah.
Like,
I always ask my clients because I don't want to mess up in what is probably our hours together.
Sense.
How to correct people that misgender you, like in conversation.
What
like
do you
if
mean,
someone walks up to you
how?
like, hey girl, are you like, no, not girl?
It depends on the person. It depends on the moment. Like,
I'm still figuring it out. I don't know how to do it without being like an asshole, other than like
Be an
pulling a
asshole.
Janet from The Good Place. That's just like, not a girl.
Yeah. I mean, whatever you feel comfortable with in the moment, I think is the right way.
Yeah.
I always tell people, like, you know, my pronouns are he, they, but like I've worked in customer service for so long that I'm just like, do I like it when people use like the wrong pronouns? No. But I'm like, if that's genuinely what you're perceiving in the moment, it's not necessarily like worth the effort on my part of being like,
I know
by
what,
the way, I know I'm going to see
this
you
is
once a
femme.
month at this bar. So I need to explain my identity to you. I'm just like,
no,
it's fine.
God, that's exhausting.
Yeah. So like if I'm in drag and someone comes up and does the whole like, hey ladies, I just kind of ignore them and like wait until they're like, oh, I'm also talking to you. And I'm like, well, you said ladies, so I assumed you weren't talking
That's
to
good.
me.
I like that.
You know? But I also, I've had someone backstage once be like, oh, like, thanks, girl. And then they were like, oh, I'm sorry. And I'm like, no, girl isn't gendered to me. It's like calling people dude, where I'm just sort of like, no, everyone's girl, everyone's dude. But like, don't call me she, her.
Yeah. I feel the same way.
Yeah, but like if you need to tell someone that, if you feel like an asshole, just be an asshole. Just lean into it.
That's hard for me.
I know.
As you know, you've known me long
You're
enough.
a very
where I'm
kind-hearted
like,
person.
I know, but some
I
people
remember you telling
deserve
me
the
like
asshole-ish.
your least favorite part about tattooing people is that it causes people pain.
Yeah.
That's so.
I don't like it. I'm like,
That's
do you
so
need a
tender.
break? Can I get you something? Drive home safe. Text me when you get home.
Little kiss on the forehead, hot water bottle. Well, that's how I always feel when I'm getting tattooed, because I'm just like, do you need to stop? Because like I'll just disassociate for the next 5 hours, but you're the one who's like working.
Yeah, sort of. But you know, I do the ADHD hyperfocus, so I like forget that my back is starting to hurt.
We both just
when we're a
leave
couple
the
hours
we both
in.
just leave the plane and go somewhere else to
And
be
then
like,
afterward,
all right.
it's like, oh, why am I sore? That's weird.
There was one time I got a tattoo. Like I have a big tattoo on my hip that was probably. He went through it really fast, but then we ended up tattooing more on my legs later that day. So I was probably there for like 6 hours and got 3 different
That's a
tattoos.
long
And everyone
day.
was like, why? And I'm like, I don't know. We could. We
Yeah.
did. We both just, no one tapped out first. That's what happens.
Yep.
Well,
I think I probably tap out first. Like usually 4 or 5 hours is like my limit on one person.
I can, as long as there's no white getting put in there, I can probably last.
I love
pretty
adding
long.
white. It's my favorite thing. I'm like, no, just trust me. It'll make it pop. This is like what we need to do.
Those birds on the back of my leg.
Well, back of the leg's rough too. I'm so sorry.
No, that's okay. I had a good time.
See,
It
I'm
looks good.
sorry.
It's probably one of still like my most complimented tattoos. And I think it also like surprises people because it's so like rainbow and delicate and pretty. And people are like, that's really nice.
Yeah.
I'm
Well,
like, yeah, no, I like pretty things.
it's for family.
I like aesthetic pleasure. Yeah. Yeah, my family's like, that's fine. I'm like, it's you guys. They're like, we don't care. You said your parents are they both like heavily tattooed? Because you said you watched them get tattooed.
So
back
both
in
of
the
mine are
90s.
also in the realm of the dead animals. But yes, my mom was pretty heavily tattooed. My dad died when I was young, but I remember like that specific day he was getting like a griffin done on his forearm, and it was either done by the female tattooer or she was just there tattooing my mom when he was getting that. I was really young. Like this was like in the 90s where it was not okay
People
to
were
bring your
smoking
kids
inside.
to tattoo shops, but like, you know, biker folks would do it anyway. And like no one was going to say anything if the kid wasn't a shithead. And I guess I wasn't a shithead. So I got to sit and watch my parents get tattooed.
Nice. Yeah. I was going somewhere else with that, but I don't remember. Oh, yeah, because I was talking about like no one in my family gets tattooed.
Yeah, my sister is pretty heavily tattooed.
Yeah.
I've done some of them. She's gotten tattooed at like people's houses and stuff though, and I'm like, come on,
I've got
Ash, you know
one of
better.
those, and it healed real bad. So
No, she just had good things to say. I'm like,
No, the experience itself and the
wait till
person
I
who
see
did
you
it
next.
was sanitary, and like I was the one who messed up the healing because it's the only one I have on like my rib cage. And I worked like an 8-hour day behind the bar, forgot that I had a tattoo there,
Yeah,
and then
that
like
happens.
went to go take off my sports bra. Yeah.
Ow.
Yeah. And
This
getting
is pre-Sanoderm days, I imagine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah, and it's like it's so scabby and bad now, but it's like again, like when we were talking about like the first tattoo, it's just like I don't want to cover it because I'm like it was a time in my life where I thought it was a good idea,
And now it's a good story. You're
And
like,
now it's a
yeah, I
great
worked and then
story.
ripped my sports bra off.
It's
and
also a tattoo of Les Claypool, so I'm sure he would probably find that terrifying. But you know, hey, it's Les Claypool as like a hatchet man, like Juggalo. It's so
I
problematic.
love tattoo stories.
It's so strange. I drew it when I was on acid, and I was like, put this on me.
Did you know that some tattooers don't like hearing about tattoo origin stories or like why people want to get tattoos? I'm like, no, tell me everything.
I was gonna say,
Tell me
did
like
you
every
not want
bit
me
of
to tell that
tea.
story?
No, I'm like,
I'm
tell me
so
everything.
sorry.
Tell me why this bird symbolizes a specific parent. Like,
Literally, that's the only tattoo. Like that's the most meaningful one I've ever gotten. Like the rest of them are just like I like teeth.
yeah, pretty much. Like my cats are the meaningful ones, and the other ones are like flowers are cool, birds are cool.
I'm like I got naked ladies. I like naked ladies.
Yep.
Teeth. Shark.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah.
Sharks are a good one.
Seahorse. I like
the
ocean.
seahorse.
Yeah.
I like doing that one.
Whenever I'm trying to think of like a different tattoo idea, I'm like, all right, well, I have animals, I have teeth, I have death, I have naked ladies. What else is there?
I mean, you like what you like.
I have an alien. I have space.
Yep.
I have bugs. I need a chair or something. Like I need like what's a random object that I don't already have? Table, podcat. I could get a microphone, I guess.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. We'll do it live.
Sounds
on the
like it would
next
have
episode.
meaning.
Yeah.
Oh, I wonder if we could do that.
I'll bring the equipment to you.
I was going to say, let's have a studio road trip.
Yes. Someday we'll take this out on the road. Oh, I asked you for queer origin story.
Oh,
and
yeah. But it's like so scattered and all over the place. I'm just like existing through life as a secret queer most of the time.
Yeah. No, that's great.
And I was in a relationship with like a straight cis man for a decade.
I remember that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, me too.
Yeah. It happens to the best of us.
Hey, some of them are all right.
Yeah. But being single is right up there on the list of like how living alone is cool.
Yeah.
Being single is also pretty cool.
Having all your free time be your free time.
Yep.
Love
Yep.
that.
I'm pretty into it.
I have no free time, but that's okay.
Yeah.
Everyone's like, oh my God, you're off today? I'm like, yeah, I'm just going to be in the studio for 4 hours.
Yeah, so off, but not really off.
No, but I mean, I love what I do because like I don't work 8 hours behind a desk. Like I get to work like 4 hours at night or like randomly in the afternoon or just doing what I love.
Yep. I get wildly depressed if I'm 8 hours a day, 40 hours a week at a desk. Like, you do not want to see that version of me.
The economy's being real tough right now. And I'm like, I don't want to go back. Please don't make me go back to job. That's okay. I'll find something. I'll get chickens.
You will. Yeah.
I'll get chickens in my
just
studio
sell those
apartment.
eggs.
Yeah.
Dude.
Dennis will be fine with it. Yeah. I know we're kind of rounding the corner towards an hour here. So a thing I always like to end on is in these tough times of 2025 and all that. What are things that you are doing right now to help you cope and to give you hope?
I have a really good therapist.
Hell yeah.
I see a therapist, telehealth, once a week. I've been seeing her for 2 years. She helps me preserve my sanity. And the cat rescue thing, like I feel like it's so hard to make a difference in these uncertain times when we're being fed bad news every day, when horrible, horrible things are happening that we can't necessarily do a whole lot about. I can at least focus on my own little world and my own little bubble. I can like take care of animals. I can help take care of the people that have their animals so they can help their animals. Like that's where the cat food pantry comes in. Someone can't afford cat food, I got you. So yeah, just taking care of my bubble until I know how I can better take care of the greater bubble of the United States or the world,
of
which
humanity.
is so God, it's so intimidating. It's
my much. God. Yeah, my mom the other day, she like sent me this really cute video of like a throuple of adult ducks, and they're like 10 little ducklings, and she's like, because she knows I love creatures great and small, she's like, oh, look at them. And I hear her recording like, okay, yeah, 1 2 3 10. All right, well, we'll check back in a few days and see if there's still 10. And I just like,
oh thanks, Mama.
I was like, Mom, please don't tell me if there's less than 10.
Right.
She's like,
say
why
that there's
not?
more.
I'm like, I wake up to horrifying news every single day. Don't ever tell me there's less than 10
Yep.
ducklings. So yeah, focusing on the creatures great and small. I had another guest on, like, they were like, did you know you can just like make and freeze pancakes and eat them whenever you want?
Yeah.
I was like, that's a great cope and hope right there. And
French
I've done
toast,
that since
too.
then. Yeah. And like, it makes sense because you see them at the grocery store frozen. Just make them yourself.
Yeah, so much cheaper.
Oh my God. Incredible advice.
And gluten-free.
Gluten-free. It's the way to be. If I want to breathe and live, go on living with my life. Yeah, and any other things you want to plug, like your tattoo shop or your art?
Yeah, I guess I should tell you
Instagrams,
all
or
where I actually work.
You sell stuff at the Salem Flea also.
Yeah,
still?
so
Yeah,
in the midst of
plug
my
all the things because you're scattered out there.
I am.
Yeah.
So I tattoo at Rivers to Roads in Danvers with Heather and Kat. We are queer owned, operated, etc. I also am a Forest Then, which is just the name that I make all of my other art stuff under. Cat Rescue is Salem Cat Aid. You can buy stuff in real life at the Salem Flea. My next pop-up markets are Floralia. I don't remember the date. And then the Midnight Moon Market, which is a few days after. Both are in Salem.
What month?
Next month.
Great.
Early next month in the first week. So soon.
So this might be out after that, though.
Oh, that's cool. If this part isn't out after, I'm doing a flash day to benefit the kitten with the feline leukemia to get her more testing. That'll be May 17th.
Oh, perfect. Yeah, this will be out right before then.
Yeah,
probably.
so it's going to be all like cat pet theme flash. Like you can bring your own animal paw print. And yeah, it'll be a good day.
On the 17th?
For Miss Rocky. Yeah. I'm very excited. See, I can't do much to save the world, but I can at least get Kat's additional vet appointments.
That's a lot of people get bogged down in like big picture, and I'm just like, big picture is good because you want to be aware of what's going on in the world, but like there's only so much you can control.
But it's okay to start small and do small. Like small is something.
And you can't, like, my favorite like old timey ism is like, you can't pour from an empty kettle. So like if you're not filling yourself up, you're not gonna be able to take care of yourself and your community. So.
And the ripple effect is real.
Yeah.
Like your tiny bit of making a difference is going to inspire other people to make a difference. I realize this sounds so corny, but it's
corny
true.
Things can be true. Corny things can be true. I had someone recently who was just like, oh yeah, I said that like it's so corny, and I was like, I like corny. Like if it's coming from a genuine place, like I like corny.
Yeah,
so.
We need more corny in the world. Honestly,
we sure do. It's corn, a big lump with knobs.
Yep,
it has the juice. Remember that, kid? You don't remember that song?
No.
I'll show it to you after.
Okay.
It's more wholesome than it sounds. Well, anyway, thank you for coming on to my podcast. I hope you had a good, weird
this was
time.
Fun.
Excellent. And yeah, I'm excited for Flash Cat Tat Day. And hopefully I don't lose this piece of paper between now and then.
Or I'll remember to message you, maybe.
We'll try. Between the two of us.
And our ADHD.
Our one brain cell that's fueled by Adderall, we'll maybe remember that. But for the rest of you who did take your Adderall meds today and have listened to this whole episode, thank you once again for listening to another episode of Buster's Beats. Make sure you follow us on Spotify, on YouTube, out there in the world. Be gay, do crime, and wash your hands. See you next time. Bye.